Good morning and welcome back to Jack's Tech Corner. I'm yours, Jack, and this is another video edition of Photoshop Elements Weekly. This is episode number 17. In this show, we're going to talk about cleaning up your picture and removing distractions. How do we do that, and how does that look? Next is creating a magazine cover. You know, we take some great sporting pictures of our kids. It'd be kind of cool to put them in a magazine cover. Makes for a great wall hanging. Next, I was asked by Jessica a while back about building custom gradients. I'm going to show you how to build a gradient and how to use those custom gradients. So let's get started here with Photoshop Elements Weekly, show number 17. Okay, like I said, welcome back, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a great week this week. I don't know where you live or where you're from, but it has been nothing but hot, just hot, hot. Did you ever hear that song? Who wrote that song? Hot, hot, sticky, sweet. My goodness, it's been so hot and sticky. I don't know about the sweet, but man, hot and sticky it has been. Not great times to go out and take pictures, but at least it's nice clear days anyway, so that's really important to have a good clear day to take your pictures on. But, so like I said, I don't know how it's been in your neck of the woods, but it's been extremely, extremely, extremely hot here. Very, very hot. So, now that we're over that, I do tend to spend a lot of time in the pool. And, you know, we thought a while back, like, how would you cast from the swimming pool? My wife wanted me to cast yesterday because I was trying to get on this rubber raft, and I just kept flipping. I couldn't get on the thing, so she said, you need to set a camera up and film this and send that out. But I didn't think you guys would want to see it. Could be a little scary, actually. And I didn't think you wanted to see me flipping off that thing. So anyway, we do have an exciting show today to get through here. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun. And you guys can follow along, just as always. To let you know, the Skype line is open. And I can also let you know here, we're going to show you a side shot right here. I had this laptop set up on the left of me right here, and that is actually taking the Skype calls today. We had trouble here a while back, people saying, Jack, you know, you're starting to bog down or get a little choppy there. I think it might have been because we had Skype actually running on the same computer that I'm trying to do this cast with. So I think that's what was going on. So now that we have all the preliminary stuff out of the way, the Skype number is up. If you have a question to start the show, by all means, give me a call right now, and I'll give you a few minutes and we can let the phone lines be open there just to see if anybody wants to call in, or throw your question up in the chat room. Somebody fell off the edge. Who was that? Oh, Dan. Dan fell off the edge. June, you're in the channel. Good morning, June. Kevin, Vicky, Dan, Brian, and Bama. B-A-M-A. Good morning, everybody. It's great to see everybody in the channel there and in the chat room. So everybody knows how to get into the chat room this morning. And it seems to be working better than Justin TV's chat, where everybody's having so much trouble. So that's why I was glad I was able to build this new one for us to be able to get together. Good morning, Kevin. Very good. And good morning, Brian. It's good to see you in there. If you guys have questions, throw them in the chat room. I will occasionally look that way. When I open the phone lines, I'll be checking the chat room. Other than that, you can chat amongst yourselves. You can definitely do that too. So there you have it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do this morning, I received a picture and an email, and I didn't really ask the lady here if I could use her email address or her name, so I'm not going to reveal her name on the show. But she asked me if I could help her clean up a picture she took of a church, and she didn't know because there's a lot of distractions in this picture, and I thought, well, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it for the show. I'm going to be able to teach her how to do it, because to me it's better to teach you how to fix your picture than to fix it for you, because then you could fix many, many, many years to come, and that's really, really important. So we are going to go ahead and start right into this picture of this church, and this part of this training is called cleaning up a picture and removing distractions. And you've probably seen me do this before if you follow my YouTube channel, but we're going to go ahead and get started here. So here we have the picture of the church. This is what we're going to be working on. And we need to clean this church up. First thing I'm going to do is get me off the screen here. We're going to go ahead and start working on this church picture. Now, I know a lot of you already have your ideas about how to clean this up. And I played around with it a little bit this morning, trying to figure out, what do you want to do with this picture? And the first thing that I felt, the largest distractions of this picture of this church is, when you're trying to get a picture, a widescreen picture, and you don't have a wide enough lens, what do we tend to do? We tend to move back, which is fine. So you move back, but then what tends to happen is you catch more on the outsides, left or right, than you really wanted to. If you had a big widescreen lens like we talked last week, we talked about having a 12 by 23. You can get really close to this church and get the whole entire church on there, and you would really be it would really be easy at that point to capture the church and not have to do a lot of editing. I'm actually taking these earbuds out. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and clean this up. So the first thing I thought I would do is get rid of the outside distractions if I was working on this picture. And the outside distractions is this building and this little house here. So the easiest way to do that, right, is we're just going to crop it out. We'll give it just a little bit more here on the edges, because you got to watch, because when you go to print these things, if she's printing this, I don't know for sure, you want to leave a little bit on the left and right for cropping. You may also bring this down a little bit. Maybe you don't want all that sky. Then go ahead and click the OK button. Already we made it 1,000 times better. Already it's sitting there and the picture looks better because we got rid of a lot of the distractions. That's what we wanted to do. And we wanted to give it just the church itself. Now, the really only thing that we really need to work on at this point is basically getting rid of the wires. Now, there's a lot of ways you can do this. I really enjoy, since Photoshop Elements, I think 7 had this in. You can correct me if I was wrong. 7. But using the spot healing brush tool and making sure content aware is activated right up here. Content aware. Because what that does is if we open our brush size up just a little bit here, on the left and on the right of this, it will actually clean that up. So it's picking up content on the left and right. Elements is deciding what's around there, what does it need, and that's what it's going to clean it up with. And we are going to give you a close-up shot of this. Give you a little bit more close-up shot here so we can see what's going on. So right here is what we're talking about. We have the content aware brush lit up. And all you're going to do is just take your mouse, click, and just go right over that wire. Now what it did, it sampled left and right, or above and below. It sampled it and it said, hey, that's a blue sky. So I think it'd be okay to cover this with blue sky. And that's exactly what it did. So now we are going to actually go over this wire. Now here's the thing to remember, folks, when you're doing this, and I don't know when the lady sent it in to me here, I don't know if you're doing this for a client or not, but if you're doing it for any reason, you want to take your time, because you can just simply take this content aware, right, and just go across here and wish for the best luck, right? You could do that. And you see how it picks up all over the sides. So it did a good job for us there. We didn't have to worry too much about it. Again, right here, you're going dark to light across this top here. Let's try that and just see what it comes up with. Again, it did a pretty good job. But there's a problem with this sign. Look at that sign right there, how it chopped part of that sign off. So I'm going to do a Command Z, or if you're on a PC, it's going to be a Control Z, and put that sign back, because you need the whole sign. The sign is there. And if anybody drives by that church, they're going to say, how come you only had part of a sign? This is where I mean you got to take your time. You can try the content aware all over things, just going like that, and it looks like that did a pretty good job. But when we work on this sign, we're going to work on that sign very individually. Let's get rid of that. Just like that. And again, just take your time cleaning up the picture. And watch each step. Make sure everything's coming the way you want it to. And you see here where this is starting to not come out the way I want it to. So I'm going to go back a couple, because you're going to start actually increasing your lines or your wires. So you don't want those in there. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry about that. Let me see, I gotta watch the chat room. You guys will keep me going here. There we go. Now we're talking about this sign right here on the church, and I'm going to blow that up. So that's another thing. Use your magnifying glass. Blow this stuff up. And thanks, Cheryl, very much for pointing the sign thing out for me. I am trying to watch the output of the video at the same time I'm doing this. Now, if we blow this up, then you can work on it. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to blow this up and get more detail with it. But this time, instead of using the content aware with the spot healing brush, we're going to use the clone stamp tool. And we'll do it one piece at a time, because we want to clean this sign up. Now the brush size there, if you've seen that, yeah, you can see it on here. It looks so big because the picture is so blown up at this point. So we blow up everything. So let's lower our brush size down. Hold your Alt key down and just click on the gray there. And that's why I like to do these just a little bit at a time and take my time doing this. I just see here. I want to make sure you guys can see all this. Like I said, there's no sense teaching you if you can't see it. You know, when I was younger, I sat in a class and nobody realized at one point I needed glasses, and they said, wow, why is your grade slipping? Well, guess what? I couldn't see the board. So I don't want you guys to feel that way by any means at all. Next, we're going to go down here and just keep working your way through this sign. Just take your time. When editing, time is everything. If you want to rush through editing, don't edit at all. That's my rule. After I shoot a wedding, I look at each individual picture, and I normally take 600 shots at a wedding, right? Because it's digital. You can shoot up a storm when you do a wedding. And you're just working your way through this, one piece at a time. Because if not, you know, and unfortunately that wire was put there. I mean, the power company, whoever said, we'll mess somebody's picture up one day by putting this here. Maybe they said that anyway. I don't know. I'm not trying to bore you folks this morning. We are just trying to learn how to use our tools properly and how to make them make sense. Now, I don't know if they're selling this old church or what they're doing with this church. Like I said, she just sent it to me. A lot of people find me on YouTube. I even had an interesting voicemail yesterday. If you did call, I'm sorry. I don't respond to voicemails from folks that find me on YouTube. It's not that I'm trying to be rude or anything. Just my policy. So you can send me an email, though. Whoever, if you see this video, I know you called me off my last video on YouTube. Just pointing this out as I'm doing this, folks. You can send me an email to jackstechcorner@gmail.com. I don't recall voicemails on Skype. I don't return them. I'm sorry. Okay, so when you get over here, make sure you're picking up some gray. Here, gray. And if you remember, we had some trouble with this brick over here with this wire. So we're going to do the same thing here. We'll use the clone stamp tool. With brick, try to pick up the cracks of the brick too. You don't want to just have a big red blotch there. So that's really important. Scroll back over here and look. Scroll a little bit more. We were having trouble right in here. And you can see, if you can see here, this black on black, that's why the more you sample. Now what I mean by sample is holding down your Alt key and getting that bullseye. You want to hold down the Alt key and get that bullseye. There you go. So that's what we're looking for. If you can see that bullseye when you hold the Alt key down, that's where you click. You do a left click and you can pick up you can sample the color right there. So that's what you're doing. And when you're getting the dark, and especially watch your lighting too when you take pictures. Watch when you sample your lighting for dark and edges and whatever there. You might want to watch those. We're going to zoom back out a little bit. I am going to view and fit to screen. And you can see now how much better that sign looks. Well, you could, right, if I showed you this. Let's see here. So you can see now the sign looks a lot better. And it's really, really cleaned up a lot. The black in there is just because of the discoloration of the sign. And you could fix that, but you're going to take away something from the shot. Especially if this is a piece of real estate property they're selling. I'm not sure what they're doing with this church. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go back to my content aware spot healing brush, and I'm just going to use that amongst these trees. Now here's something funny with trees. If you can see this, let's bring that up. Again, folks, this is just a really slow process. What we want to do here, I want to show you these trees because trees are fun. I really enjoy working with trees. Matter of fact, you might have watched my YouTube video a while back of creating brushes, and I actually created a tree. But what I like to do here, if you can see when I went over that, it created a white streak right here in the top. You see that right there in the top? It created a white streak. So what we want to do is we want to fill that in. Now what's neat is with the tree, we can use our clone stamp. I'm going to make that brush a little bigger. And I'm going to sample part of this tree here. And all I'm going to do is just click in here. You can make that tree bigger or more full if you want. Just like so. I am going to sample over here because I got a little bit of the roof in there. So I'm going to take that out. And there you go. I was able to put some of that tree back and make it look more natural again. So trees are a lot of fun. Once you pick up a branch, sample a whole branch and just do that cloning technique and just clone it in and fill your tree right back in. It's really a lot of fun. It's really neat to do. Okay, the next part we're just going to go over here. See if we can get rid of that wire. You see here now what happened. We took out part of the arch. Do a Control Z and back up. What you want to do there again is just do a zoom. Yeah. Do a zoom. Bring that up. Try to get this more in here. Right here, when you're working with this archway, only work with the arch then. So you can use your clone stamp then again. And make that brush size smaller. Get a sample here of the white. Again, multiple samples would be in order here because you want to, you can see it's like the boards here are different sizes. They're cut differently. So you don't want to just clone stamp right over top of that. So you want to try to clone stamp here. You may even want your brush size a little smaller to clone stamp in here. Because you want that groove in that board. I mean, not that it's going to be easy to see when you blow this back out. We talked about that before too. Once you fit it to screen or you take it and you hang it on a wall, it's not going to be seen that much anyway at that point. And then just use your spot healing brush and go ahead and do the rest of it. Just clean it up as you go along. Again, that white, I would not go through this white part right here. I would just wait and do that after. And you might want to watch up in there. You might be able to see that where it turned a little lighter. So there you go. So I think we now have this all set up and we're good to go. There you go. Now the picture's cleaned up, and that is how you do it. Take your time using those two tools, the spot healing brush with content aware, and also use the cloning stamp tool, and remember to sample. I can't tell you that enough. I teach this in a live class with usually we have 12 to 15 adults in these classes I teach, and you know, I go around and work with each person individually, and that's what I try to teach, because when you take a picture, there's shadows and there's lighting, and that's why you want to sample. Even if the color's the same, the shadowing may change on the way up, so be very careful with that. Okay, so we got this picture well taken care of, and we're good to go there. And there we go. Let's bring this back up. We did, actually, I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but for these shows, if you go to jackstechcorner.com, I did pick up a couple new sponsors. To try to help out the show anyway. It's always good to have a couple advertisers in there. You don't want too many to overbear you, but it's good to have a few in there. So as a matter of fact, now's a good time, since we're at the half hour there. Instead of playing you the pre-recorded commercials, we're going to try to read you one. So if I stumble through this, bear with me. We'll be all right. Actually, let me see if I can bring this up even. Let me see here. Let me just see what we can do. There we go. And just bring this up. And what I wanted to talk to you about today was, do you enjoy reading? Did you ever consider an e-reader? Let me restart that. Like I said, I'm reading this one, so hold on here. Let me look at this again. Do you enjoy reading? Did you ever consider an e-reader? Then Barnes & Noble is the place for you. I bought my Nook over a year ago and have not bought another paperback book since. Or maybe you just simply love reading printed books. Any way you wish to read, please go to my website. Right here it is, jackstechcorner.com, and go down the left side of the page and click on the Barnes & Noble graphic that says Deal of the Day. With daily deals, you can't go wrong. And I want to thank Barnes & Noble for being a sponsor of the show. I really enjoy their being a sponsor with us there. Also, if you get time, check out other sponsors. The Roku box. If you guys didn't know, I'm working on creating a Roku channel. And they also already have a Justin.tv channel, so you can go on there actually right now and watch a show live on your TV set. It's pretty cool. That's the way I watch a lot of programs on Justin TV. Then we have, as always, the Green Screen Wizard and one-to-one domain web hosting. So there you go. I just wanted to bring that up, and I wanted to show you there that I do have a Nook. This is the original white Nook. I bought this a while ago it was $239 at one time. It went down to $149. I bought it. I said, got to have one, so it was a good deal. Now it's down to $114. It's even a better deal for the original Nook. That's the white one, and they work great. The battery lasts about a week at a time. It's hard to get used to plugging your book in, but there you go. That's my advertising for you for today. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you do read, that's a great way to do it there. All right, what we're going to learn about now is we do a lot of this. I know I do. I take a lot of sporting pictures of our kids. So we have to learn, how do you create a magazine cover? And I worked on one this morning, and I actually took it down to my wife so she can see that. So I don't have it here to show you. I was going to show you, but we're going to go ahead and just get started on that topic now. So we'll leave that picture, and we're going to go to this picture. And here we go. I went to Google Images, and right here I typed in barcode. Because the first thing to make a magazine look really authentic is to have a barcode. And all these are JPEGs, so they're really easy to work with. So you click on a barcode, and I know I've showed you how to get graphics before. So there's the barcode. The next thing we're going to do is click on full-size image, right-click on the barcode, and do a Save Image As. Now once you do that, you're going to save the image out, and just hold that image as a JPEG. Okay. Alright, good. So you guys should be seeing the video and hearing everything again. It should be moving along. Could have been the computer actually might have been doing too much processes. I do need more memory on the computer. Let me shut this Evernote. Maybe it's trying to sync. Trying to think everything possible that I don't want to happen. So we'll get rid of that. Okay. So apparently it wasn't the Skype giving me problems. So we saved the barcode out. Now what we need to do is we need to start working on this picture. First thing we'll do is a Control-J, and we're going to duplicate the background. Now what we're going to do is go to File, Open, and we're going to open that barcode. Here's my barcode. Now we'll just do like any other time you take a picture from anything. We're going to select all. We can do Edit, Copy, go back to the picture, and we'll do Edit, Paste. We're going to move that. Now we have a barcode on our picture. Make it a little smaller. Now you have a barcode on your picture. So already it's looking like an authentic magazine cover. And it's fine now. Good deal, Kevin. So that helped it restarting the stream. Sorry about that, guys. I got a lot of work now to clean this up for YouTube. Hey, also, just for you folks, if you remember here, I am going to try to have a Google Hangout on Google Plus immediately after this show so we can talk. If you guys got webcams, we can see each other. It's pretty cool. Okay, the next thing I want to do here is we are going to put a title up here on the page. So we'll just grab a text tool. Click here. We'll make the text white, and we are going to call this Sports Illustrated. Now if you can see there, you cannot see that. The reason is our layering over here. The text actually went below the picture. So grab it and pull it up above the picture. Now you can see it. Sports Illustrated. Somebody will probably get me for copywriting or something here, but hey. Okay, now if you highlight that and you click your pull down menu, you'll notice that it only goes to 72 points. But you can type in here whatever you want. And earlier I played around, I made it at 300. Now you have your heading on there, your Sports Illustrated. Now it's starting to get that look and feel of a magazine cover just by simply using a text layer and a layer for our barcode. Pretty simple so far. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to throw some text in here again. This time we're going to make the text black. And there's no right or wrong colors. You can use whatever colors you wish. Now what we're going to do is, we'll try 36. Click down here. And we'll just put this in there. And again, if it's not big enough, we can highlight that and just change your fonts just like we did before. Then we're going to move that, maybe move it closer to her. And there you go. Now there's a nice little magazine cover, right? It doesn't look bad at all. And you were able to do that just with an easy, very easy to use one of your pictures. So it was a good deal. I'm just looking at the chat room here at the same time, guys, just to see everybody is running again. And it might have been, I don't know, maybe a computer hiccup. Maybe my machine just hiccuped. Like I said, I need to buy more memory. I'm running 4 gigs in this iMac, and I need to have at least, I like to have 16, but I can't find anybody selling me 2 8s. So I'm going to put 8 in it because I found 2 4s. So that will at least double it. Okay. Once again, if you would like to call in, I'd love to hear from you today. We can try this new board out here. If you see there's a new audio board or another audio board here. Right in the back. It's back here actually. It's a Yamaha board, and I have this laptop here set for Skype, so I think it's going to work okay. If you want to Skype in, there's the Skype number right there. So hopefully, if you want to Skype into us, you can give us a Skype call at Jack's Tech Corner, or pick up your cell phone and call 724-701-0911. And then our next lesson here, the last lesson that we're going to do today, is going to be a lesson on gradients and how to make your own gradient. And apparently I don't see Jessica here today, unfortunately. So I'll probably also make a YouTube video on how to do a gradient, just so she has that available. I think she may have went on her vacation already. Jessica was going on a cruise, so she may have actually already left. I don't know exactly what week they were going, or a birthday party, or there was something going on this week that they were doing. But if you follow her on my Facebook page, Jack's Tech Corner, you'll see a lot of her great work, and Kevin's, and so many other ones in there. So many of you guys in there. Vicky, you guys post pictures. I know Cheryl does. Something's not working. Dan, what's not working now? It's good to see you in the chat room. At least that's working. I'm cutting in and out again. That doesn't make any sense at all. I'm cutting in and out again. The CPUs are good. The frames are good. So I don't know why it would be cutting in and out. Doesn't make much sense at all. Maybe it's that camera. Maybe that camera is sending so much information. Let's bring this one back up, and I'll see if my kilobits per second drops now. And they do. They dropped a lot. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's that big camera in the back that I'm using. It's not a major camera, but it is actually picking up a lot more information. So maybe that is it. Maybe it's the heat. Hey, a lot of people are saying the heat is messing with internet lines, and I don't know. I've been in this business a long time, but maybe. They claim at one of our school buildings that when it rains, the internet in the one building is slower than the other building. And I said, yeah, it's probably the running of water through the fiber lines, I guess. I don't know. I think it's kind of crazy there, but never know. Maybe that is the case. Did it catch back up to us? Everything catch back up, guys? It looks like my kilobits per second is better. When I run that camera on the other side there, it's so much information being pumped out there, I think is what happened. And it's just a big glob of information coming through. It might even be because it's a USB camera. Maybe that's it. I don't know. We're trying to narrow this down, see what the delays are there. So, okay. I'm going to go with this last bit here anyway. And hopefully it's recording okay so I can put this recording together to get up on YouTube. So if you missed something or something didn't seem quite right, just watch it on YouTube. Or what I'm going to do also is I'll come back to Justin TV today and I'll start highlighting parts of this video and create highlights and maybe dump the whole video if it looked like it was cutting in and out on us there. So there you have it. Let's go ahead and create a custom gradient. Let me get rid of that barcode thing. We don't need that anymore. Okay, it's fine now. Good. And it might be that other camera. So I could experiment, but I don't want to waste your guys' time. Kevin, hopefully you got your laptop set back up. I don't know if you can do a Google Plus Hangout if you have time this morning. But we're going to try it. Thanks, Dan. You're okay too now. Yep, could be another camera. Maybe we figured it out. Okay, it's time now to look at some gradients. Now, if you click on a gradient up here, you click on your gradient down here, and then up here, if we have this picture right in front of us, we can actually work with that sky, right? We can make that sky more blue just by using a gradient. And this particular gradient I have selected, hold on. Sorry about that. So we click on gradients on the left on our toolbar. It says gradient tool. And when you click at the top here, the pull down menu, you'll see that there's a gradient here that's black to transparent or foreground to transparent. With that selected, here's a trick. You can come down here to your foreground and background right here at the bottom. Double click on your foreground, pick a blue, click OK, and it changes that gradient up there. So we didn't even have to rebuild that gradient. It actually changed the foreground color to whatever the foreground color is on the palette down here. Now if you want to fix this sky up, you just make sure that you're on the proper one here. Let's grab this one, which I don't think it's marked. It's called reflected gradient. You can hold your shift key down and draw a straight line from the top down towards the water. And you can see there, instantly we made that sky bluer. Just very simply using a gradient on there. This is very easy to do. You can do a Command J because we can actually take that now. And you can, let me see, hopefully this works for us. You can actually use a layer mask on there. And we're going to flip this. And if you paint with black, you'd be able to get some of that back out of there. Some of the blue that you might have casted over the trees. Or if you don't want to do it, you say, well, that's kind of cool, Jack, but there's got to be an easier way. There is. Again, select your gradient. Remember it's black up here. But now we want to make it the color of these trees for these trees here. Check this out. This is fun. Grab this tree color here. Let's pick a lot of gray. Let's try to go in here. Yep, try to grab it green. I thought maybe the eyedropper would pick it up better. And then we can hold the shift key down and we can just go over this if we wanted to. That's why we were actually on there. Let's try this again. There you go. There's the green we wanted. You got to watch, if you clicked on the layer mask, you're not going to do too well there. hold the shift key down, come down over these trees, and you got a little bit too high there. So that happens. Be careful. Do Control Z and back yourself out of it. Come up here and start lower. You can see now you got more of a green haze over that. If it's still too high, come over here and go lower. And there you go. You got some of these ones. We got that line going up there, so you get the general idea though. You can change that gradient all you want. Now the last step we're going to do is we're going to create a custom gradient. So click on edit, and what we need to do now is you're going to change this. Actually, we'll just double click here. Wait, let me bring this up so you can see it. Once again, if you can't see it, we can't do it, right? That's our policy here on Jack's Tech Corner. Let's go ahead and create a custom gradient. So right here on the bottom, there is this little slider, which you can slide left and right. If you double click this, you can go and create a new color. So there's a blue, there's a lighter blue. If you want to double click the other side, you can do that, and you can choose another color on that side. Let's go dark blue maybe. Now here's the trick. You're saying, well, Jack, it didn't change it. No, it didn't change it, because we have the trouble of the opacity. The opacity is set all the way down. So if you click on the top, we can change the opacity all the way up. So on that top one here, this top one is what sets the opacity. The bottom one is what sets the color. And over here, the top one sets the opacity. So if you say that's too blue, turn it down a little bit. You can do transparency that way. Now let's say, well, I've seen a lot of those gradients up there that have multiple colors. Well, that's easy to do. If we click somewhere in the middle, it's going to give us another one. And click on top, it's going to give us the top piece. So this piece, now let's make that red. The top piece, we can go ahead and set our opacity. Now to save it, just give it a new name. We'll call this one blue, red, blue. Just like so. And we're going to say new. And there's our blue, red, blue right in our gradient tool palette. That's also, you'll notice, is the one that is selected. So if you would take that one, and just to show you what it would do to a picture, hold your shift key down if you want to draw a straight line. Down your picture and leave it go. And that's what it would do to it. So you got light blue at the top, dark blue at the bottom. You had that reddish tint in the middle. So that is how you create your own custom gradient. Very, very easy to do. So hopefully you've enjoyed that segment, and hopefully you're able to get some use out of creating your own custom gradients. I'm sure there's a lot of things we can do with them. I'm going to do a Control or a Command Z just to show you here. You can also reverse that, and if you reverse it, it just simply reverses your colors from what you had. And there you go. Now you'll see the darker blues on the top, the lighter blue is way down at the bottom, and the red's in the middle. So again, that is the way to create a custom gradient. Thank you very, very much for watching this week. This is a Photoshop Elements Weekly. This was show number 17. And as always, keep those shutters clicking, keep the editors editing, and I'll see you back here next Sunday on Jack's Tech Corner for another Photoshop Elements Weekly. Bye for now, and have a great week.